What's up, lore masters? Today is going to be a correction and addressing a couple of criticisms in my uniform series. I'll be honest, I was actually pretty surprised to see the amount of interest in the uniforms of Starfleet. I honestly would expect something like a conspiracy by Starfleet to kill Federation citizens and high dignitaries of the Romulan and Federation Council, or a discussion on the Federation and religion to be more of a draw. I mean, I don't mind, it's kind of cool actually, you never know what will start a conversation. Anyway, let's go ahead and address the concerns one by one. The largest issue is that I continually take potshots at Starfleet for having a diverse amount of uniforms. I then intimate that it isn't done in real life. The truth is that, well, it is done in real life. For instance, according to Anti-Tracker, you have your battle dress uniform, Class B garrison uniform, Class A dress uniform, and PT uniform. According to other commenters, you also had uniforms of the day and some form of casual uniform, as well as a Taco Tuesday uniform. So yeah, I got this one wrong. I mean, it's not specific to the universe, but I was asked to compare between real life and then the in-universe of Star Trek, so there's that. So, and again, the original series was more true to form when it comes to real life than the later iterations. The original series uniforms are still dumb as fuck. The next issue that is apparently a bigger sin than when Adam ate an apple was for me to use the word Navy and show the Army. There's a few things here. First, I didn't do the visuals, but that couldn't matter less. I ultimately approve every video that goes on my channel, and I didn't think it was a big deal. But the second piece to this is that in the original series, Kirk quite clearly says all of the different divisions have been combined. Starfleet is one service, it is not a division of multiple. So if I'm talking about Starfleet, it wouldn't matter ultimately because they're all one now. Lastly, and this is the most important piece, I could not find a high-resolution picture that was in the public domain, met fair use, didn't violate any local or federal privacy laws, and looked good on screen. Now, before all of you start to become the absolute fabulous Google scholars I know you to be, remember, link me a high-resolution, larger than 1024 by 768, preferably 2MP or 4MP picture that meets all applicable laws for the United States of America. I appreciate your help. Another piece to this that I find very flabbergasting, and before I begin, not that you're going to listen to this part, but I sincerely appreciate every service member, both within my own country and even abroad. Sacrificing years of your life to defend those you love is one of the most sacrificial things you can do. And even if you're a jerk or in it for the money, you're still doing something that benefits others, so thank you. Also, on a side note, being the patriot that I am, I happen to think that the US military, in general, is one of the biggest forces for good on Earth. Not always, but generally. If you disagree with that, feel free to comment. I really don't care and you're not going to get a response, but hey, if you feel better, please put it in the comments. That said, some people got all up in arms stating how dare I show Army personnel and say the word Navy. When I point out that I'm sure that the Army will feel great that they didn't meet naval standards, it becomes, how dare you say that? I would never put down my Army brethren. Man, I love those moving goalposts. Look, the picture got the job done, and if you're insulted that I said Navy and used Army, I do sincerely apologize. That said, we can agree to disagree on it being the worst thing that's ever happened. Finally, people have pointed out that I've stayed close to memory alpha for this one. It's discussing fucking uniforms. There are only so many ways to say that. Okay, I actually do think there's some valid criticism to a degree. Even though every person who ever disagreed with me ever uses memory alpha, a reliance in reading of a wiki is not appropriate research. That said, I don't really have a ton to go with here. I use Memory Alpha, Astri Scientia, Trekyard, Space Dock, and others as starting points when I begin to research. I then do additional research on my own, trying to watch the source material and so on. The sheer amount of information and the fact that it is dry as hell means that I will be mimicking a lot of what Memory Alpha does. That's because they got it right and do it in a logical format. They list the uniform, they show the era, and then they continue on to the next era. There's only so many ways you can do that. I add my own spin and talk about what I disagree with, but again, it's uniforms. I'll try to distinguish more in the future, but I'm finding it really hard when you're dealing with just descriptions. I'm describing things. I give background that's even not on Memory Alpha. You'll find stuff in my video that's not on Memory Alpha. But again, you can only describe a spade in so many ways and it not be similar to how someone else did it. Welcome to the internet. I'll end by saying I do appreciate the feedback you guys give, and the final video will be coming out within the next week. The criticisms you give, in my opinion, are valid, and that's why I'm addressing them, and I will attempt to do better in the future. I really love this channel. I love the conversations that it brings, so I'm glad that I even have a chance to do videos like this when I get it wrong. With all that out of the way, I'd want to encourage you guys to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.